Happy International Women's Day. Two similarities to draw between the fourth industrial revolution and the first industrial revolution. The first one was primarily driven by the change in transportation. Rail lines became a big predominant feature of commerce. Digital transmission has become a big feature in commerce. So now you have e-commerce drives most of global trade and transactions. Trade is the means by which people and nations prosper. And it is to the advantage of any nation or community that everyone, women or men, are included in trade and all that type of transaction. It's not to anybody's advantage to exclude people from trade. I mean, the more people who participate in trade, the more people will prosper, and then the community or the nation or even the family prospers. A lot has been said about gender equality, but from a standpoint of value, it's important to know that every single person can bring value. If you think of a football team, the goalkeeper doesn't do much running around during the match, but is she valuable? Yes. I mean, we tend to esteem the strikers, the goal scorers, a lot more than the people who feed these goal scorers the balls, or even the defenders who protect the team's goals and stop the attacking team from scoring. So there's no point in scoring 10 goals in a match and then conceding 12 points. You still lose 3 points. Same thing when gender equality is mentioned. Is everyone is absolutely valuable. We have to start to sensitize women, especially, to embrace STEM subjects: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is the future of the world. You are in the fourth industrial revolution, which is heavily driven by technology. I mean, almost all the industrial revolutions have been driven by technology. It is important that even when you participate in the arts, movies are heavily driven by technology. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot that goes in, production and post-production. And you have to start to get involved in that, and people should not shy away. Women should not shy away. So take advantage of the opportunities. Do not think it is, a man's job. I know many people will want to look at equality from the point of, men putting women down. I really think that women should put themselves at the forefront. At Trecagon, we encourage women to participate in the courses that we teach, project management, data analysis, even optic fiber technology. There is enough room. I mean, we require all sorts of abilities. We require, as much as we require, great strength in hauling the cables, securing them in the ground. You also need, great skill in splicing and testing optic fiber cables. So there's room for everybody. Then there's the commerce part, which both men and women can actively participate in. I think there is an opportunity. It may not be well balanced because, people still hold several patriarchal values and views. Culture is usually the toughest thing to change. People want to hold on to the ways that things have been done. Is there an opportunity to balance things more than before? Absolutely. If you think of commerce, by its very nature, commerce involves travel. So if you think of shipping, for instance, who are you likely to see on a ship? Males or women or females? Males. You are more likely to see males on the ship. It's tough. It's a tough environment to be on. That's not to say there are no women on ships. Who are you more likely to see driving a truck? Males. Again, tough environment. It's not that there are no women there. It's just that there is a great imbalance. More men than women. And it's because of the physical nature of, these. In the digital age, e-commerce, what's the platform? Applications, desktop applications, mobile applications. Most of this is transmitted over, by digital technology. So you have microwave, optic fiber, 5G, 4G, all those, modes of communication. What are the hindrances to women participating in e-commerce? How likely are you to find women or men on platforms like Shopify? How likely are women to join? Very likely. That is the thing. I mean, women need to embrace these forms of technology. And the kicker really is that at least half of the population, speaking of Nigeria, and I believe I'm speaking of Africa, at least sub-Saharan Africa, half of the population live in rural areas. So that's really a big point of focus now. And what you find is that people in the rural areas are still not using a lot of this technology. So I think that's where the focus should go. That's where a lot of the trade happens. That's where the agriculture happens. I mean, Africa is still overwhelmingly focused. A large percentage of the population is engaged in agriculture, about 70%. So it just tells you that if you do start to focus on people that live in rural areas, you'll start to address the problems of, these people in rural areas. And then just by extension, you make it easier for the female gender to also participate without having to engage in the physical rigors of commerce. They can easily participate just by learning how to use these applications, not being afraid of applications, but being exposed to them. It really starts from from an early age. Let them not be afraid of the science subjects or technology or engineering or mathematics. Let them embrace it, and then the world is your oyster, like they say. The digital revolution, we are still in the phase of revolution. Things are still unfolding. We are going to see amazing things that can be done with technology. You are going to see people being able to use holograms to appear in another place. So their image, almost a lifelike image, 3D images, will be able to appear in places, and so your concept of virtual meetings will be transformed. You'll have people virtually sitting in rooms and communicating with each other. I know it may be a hard concept to grasp right now, but it's going to start soon. You've seen the effects of the pandemic. We've always had these technologies, but we've not used them. The pandemic forced us to use a lot of video conferencing tools and applications. It has driven the demand for data sky high. And so optic fiber technology is one technology that's going to, address this need. The opportunities are immense. I encourage women to get involved in things like optic fiber technology, the actual engineering, design, construction, maintenance of optic fiber. And that's separate from the applications that need to be built to encourage commerce. And again, happy International Women's Day.